the offense just is kind of unstoppable right now. Number one in the league in terms of scoring, and at 120 points a game, which would, if I'm not mistaken, I think I'd look this up. It would be, since the 3-point line was implemented, it would be a top 10 ever. I think it'd be 8th overall if the season were to end today in terms of
Hmm.
scoring. And
Yeah.
it just seems like the Kings, they had 5 straight games of 130 points or more. Who knows if they can't, they might be able to keep that streak going. Like, they might be able to kind of push the ceiling on this points per game thing. But this offense is incredible. It's one of the best, if not the best, offenses in the league. It doesn't technically top out in offensive rating, but in terms of scoring, and it's number one. Field goal percentage, it's, I think, top 5, and then I think 3-point percentage is top 10. And they move the ball well, and it seems like lately they're not turning the ball over a ton. It's just, there's a lot of things that are going right. And kind of alluding to it there a second ago, the 3-point shooting's good. Harrison Barnes has been playing really well, which seems to coincide perfectly with this huge surge in team offense. I mean, what do you see with this offense? It was already good, but now it seems super.
I mean, I think you said it a second ago. Harrison Barnes, that dude has been playing out of his mind since we changed the calendar. I think he's in January. He's averaging 22 a game on 57, 50. I'm trying to think. I just had the stats up. He's shooting over 50% from the field and like 55 from three. That dude cannot miss from deep. It's insane. And so, I mean, everyone else is playing pretty normally. Maybe Monk's not doing Monk things that we saw him doing earlier in the year. And Herter's, he can be hit or miss. Murray's been fantastic, though, as well. Ever since that slow November he had, that dude's just burying triple after triple, kind of like Barnes is doing in January. So the shooting has been really good. But I think it's just Barnes. Fox and Sabonis have been, I mean, Sabonis obviously won player of the week, and Fox is still putting up his numbers, but I mean, the offense only got so much better because Barnes has just been incredible. And like I said, it's funny. The dude, when he shoots behind the arc, I'm like, okay, it's a really high chance that ball goes in. So I don't know if Barnes can keep this up for the rest of the year, but it's been fun to watch because you don't really expect that out of Barnes, especially for like a whole month like this. I think in the 4-game winning streak, he's had, I think, 3 games over 20 points. And Barnes usually sprinkles in 20 here and there, but he even had a 30 piece for his season high. And yeah, there's not much more I can say. That he's just been incredible during this January and during this winning streak.
Yeah, he definitely. I mean, it's one of those things where the offense is so good, and it's just like you can kind of run down, as you were kind of doing there, and go through. And it seems like everybody, maybe except Malik Monk, who kind of has been up and down over the last month or two, but everybody else seems like they're playing a little bit better. Fox seems like he's really hit a nice groove again. Sabonis has elevated his play to, like, not just flirting. Like, I keep waiting for Mark Jones to go, somebody call this man's wife. He's flirting with a triple-double again. I keep wanting to write that in one of our game recaps, but then I'm just like, that's too Mark Jonesy. So I just end up scrapping it. I just feel like that's something he would say. Somebody let her know.
I'm
He's
surprised
flirting again.
If you said like he said that, I would totally would have believed you. Really, like yeah, oh yeah, he probably said that. I missed it. Definitely a Mark Jones saying.
Yeah, but he's elevated his play. He's winning Player of the Week honors, all that. You go down, Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, even Kevin Herter before he got sick, which is weird to say. That sounds like we lost him or something before he got sick. But before he went down for 2 games with an illness, his 3-point percentage over like his previous 11 games was on fire. I don't know what it was exactly, but it was pretty incredible. Obviously not as hot as when he first started the season, but it was back up to sharpshooter levels on top of the other things that he's doing. Also, Davion Mitchell, it seems like, is kind of, I wouldn't say like the 19-point performance against the Spurs is something we're going to get on a nightly basis. But I feel like there's a bit of more of a tendency for him to get a little more aggressive now. He seems like he's doing that for more than maybe just his first couple of minutes in the game. And I just think it's like all systems go right now. And even with Kevin Huerter hurt, I mean, his first game wasn't terrific as the starter in place of Huerter, but Terrence Davis was really good in the second game. And
Mm-hmm.
fitting him into the rotation and trying to kind of like patch up the backup, three, I guess you would say, the backup to Barnes with kind of like a mix of Okpala and Terrence Davis and other guys and maybe 3-guard lineups and things like that. Sometimes it doesn't always stick that way, but it's like, man, the depth of this team when you can just plug him in as a starter, and if he has some decent rhythm, he's going to give you a pretty good scoring performance. And it just seems like everything, you just add everything up together, and it's so great. And also, it's like this team's now played together for like 3 months in regulation, like in the regular season, mid-October to mid-January now, and their chemistry is at an all-time high, obviously, and it's only going to get higher. So, man, it just seems like things are coming together, and maybe Harrison Barnes doesn't have to shoot 50% from three or whatever. Keegan Murray doesn't have to shoot 50% from three. Although I wouldn't be surprised if the Keegan Murray just is back in that cyborg level, which is kind of weird. But it just seems like these guys are all capable of something, and they're at a point where they're always finding that best shot, and they're finding it really quick. And it's just like I said, it's all systems go.
Yeah, they've just been super fun to watch. There were Fox and Sabonis were on NBA Today, and they were going over one of their actions today. And Fox kind of brought up the shooters and how they just have so many guys to kick to, and it's just so true, especially with Murray as a rookie shooting the way he's been shooting. It's like, other than that November, I think obviously we have Kevin Huerter and Harrison Barnes has been great, but I don't know. So I really have a lot of trust in Keegan when he shoots that three. And it just adds to that depth and that shooting. Herder. Monk is kind of hit or miss from three. Monk's kind of funny. He either is just making every shot, or I feel like he misses every three. But then Barnes and Murray, all the shooters for Fox and Sabonis to kick out to.